Good day, beautiful people. Yeah, I did a bad thing today. I went down to the beach, took the shortboard, and the waves was too small, and I didn't surf. That's not an excuse. I should have taken the longboard or the subboard, but I'll do it this afternoon. Now, where were we last weekend? Oh yeah, we were drifting to the beach, and we saved the boat. Now here is a thing that I've learned that I could have solved that whole problem of chaos on that boat if I had the anchor ready on the boat. After that, I always had my anchor ready wherever I sailed, especially in small confined areas, and if a motor can have your anchor ready. As soon as there's chaos, drop the anchor, let it out, and there's it. You stopped your chaos, now you've got time to save your boat. And it's the same in life. You have to have an anchor. And the Lord's your anchor, bro. When there's chaos and you're drifting towards a steel breach in your life, throw out that anchor. The Lord is there for you. Now, people ask me, what about the storms? That's always the first thing if I heard of I went sailing. What about the storms? Well, my first storm, we were sailing from Richards Bay up to Nyaka Island. That was also my first overnight sail. I sailed quite a lot of times at night, but never overnight. Now, my first night sail was on a warm catamaran. Wow. I call that the Land Rover of the sea. It's like a 4x4. That boat's incredible. Anyway, that night we sailed. And there was this northwest wind blowing. Yeah, it was northwest because it was offshore. And we were running up the coast and turned around and came back. And it was a dark night as well. And my wife went with us and she was standing there. And you got like, we call it a goal post at the back. And she was holding onto it. It's like on the back of a bakkie. When we got back to the yacht club, we had to pry the fingers off. So tight she held it, and her hands were cramping, but she said she wasn't going to let go of that gold post. But that was our first night sail, but it wasn't overnight. But my first overnight sail was on Carlin, a friend of mine's yacht. So we on our way to Nyaka, a big southwester came through. You always sail up to Nyaka with a southwester. And then increased and increased and increased. And eventually it was like 35 knots, 40 knot gusts. And the sea started getting big and it started getting dark. An amazing thing is, as the darkness fell, you don't see the waves because it's pitch black. Remember, on a boat you don't have lights. Those days we didn't even have a little red light in the boat. We had a little lantern that was burning inside, and that little flame made me feel so secure. Oh, it's all in here, but I felt secure with that little flame there at night. But the crazy thing is, I could imagine why the old seafarers were these sea snakes and monsters at sea, because when a wave crashes breaking, it glows in the dark and it's like glowing clouds higher, because the wave is like this, and you're at the bottom, and the wave is up here. And then you see these sea snakes coming towards you. Long phosphor sea snakes coming towards you, and you're like, what the hell? And it's dolphins. As he swims through the water. Now he's higher than you, and it looks you looking up in the sky, upwards towards the wave. And you see the dolphin going through the water, and it's glowing around him. But as the glow goes to the back, it thins out and it vapors and it looks like a sea snake coming towards you. If you've never seen it, it's something spectacular. I can't explain it to you. But anyway, and as he came close to the boat, I hear, and I knew it's a dolphin. You know, we were living in the 80s, but I could see why people in the olden days would freak out if you take a man and you've never seen or experienced this. But that morning, the storm started subsiding. and it was my turn to be at the helm and the back. And the wind dropped down to about 50 knots, and the wind still blew, and the sun started breaking through, and I knew I had inner peace that moment. It was incredible. I knew this is where I had to be right now, right there at that moment. It was just incredible peace on me. I can't explain it to you, but I felt this is it. I have to do this. And there was also blue music playing in the background of from the radio. We were still catching East Coast radio that day, but what a day it was. So my first storm experience was frightened, but also I found peace. Love you guys. See you in the water. And the next time I'll tell you about my worst storm.